Hello, friends. You know, I've done a good deal of painting in my day, not canvases, of course, but classroom walls and hallways, the wall around the track, even chain link fences. I wouldn't recommend that last project. But as every good painter knows, when it's time to do trim work, you don't use a broad brush. You don't paint with a broad brush. You use this for walls, you use this for big areas, general areas. But to paint window panes and to trim around doors and to edge along the floor, you use a trim brush. It's necessary. The fine quality of the trim brush, its tapered edge, its angled edge, allows us to do all the intricate, complex work of really up-close painting. And as it is in painting, I know this is a stretch, but so it is with the great moral and philosophical issues of our day. Too many people today paint with a broad brush, and that's a real problem. And I find this to be true on all points along the ideological spectrum. People are painting with a broad brush, and that leads to sweeping generalizations, just vast oversimplification, and often vilification of the other side. None of this does us any good. None of it. You know, to paint with a broad brush is to do a great disservice to our marvelous Catholic intellectual tradition, no less than the masterful 13th century Catholic theologian, philosopher, and author of the Summa Theologia, St. Thomas Aquinas, spent his entire life making careful distinctions between one point and another. That was the basis of his theology. His famous phrase, his famous sentence, distinguo, I distinguish, but I distinguish. And those careful distinctions that he made allowed him to navigate the complex philosophical, theological, and moral issues of his day. We need to recover that sense of distinguishing, of not painting with a broad brush. Because what we think matters. It matters profoundly. And that's why our mission of Catholic education here in our Marian schools is so important. We all have to learn to take a step back and not paint with a broad brush. We need to be able to say, I will distinguish carefully. I will think clearly. I will consider every facet of every complex issue. I will not overgeneralize. I will not oversimplify. I will not vilify the other side. I will not paint with a broad brush. You know, in the Gospel of John, Jesus says, and then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Friends, may we distinguish carefully, think clearly, refuse to paint with a broad brush, so that the truth indeed will set us free. Thanks so much for listening, and have a wonderful day.